but my story is not normal. Most trafficking victims are not found.
I applaud and appreciate Ms. Caroselli for for coming and sharing her story. I will allow the family to decide how they will present, but I appreciate it if you come and share a little bit of what you have experienced and what kind of impact it may have had on your family as you continue on. I'm sure it's a continuing process.
Started on Facebook. About 3 years prior to the incident, my husband had passed away. This was my daughter's best friend. My husband was her world. 2 peas in a pod, these two were. So when he passed, she felt that she didn't have anyone. Even though I was still there, I'm now a single mom trying to keep everything afloat. I got one income now, trying to make adjustments. I'm trying to take care of kids and household. She's on Facebook looking for that love, that attention that she feels daddy's not here, mommy's not giving it to me. So she looked for it and she found it. The gentleman, well, I can't call him gentleman, I can't call him that, I'm calling him something else, but he did nice. Played on that. He knew her father had passed. He went through her whole page. My daughter was one of those people that put everything. As much as I would tell her, don't do that, she did it anyway. Almost a year later that I realized that my child was a victim of sex trafficking. Long story short, she was able to call my daughter and kind of gave her a nutshell. I'm in Phoenix. This is what I'm doing. She calls me. I fall apart because that's a mother's worst nightmare because I know she's in Phoenix, but I can't get to her. I filed a missing persons report, but it's hard to find these kids because she's moving all over the place. She was being trafficked from Phoenix to Vegas, Phoenix to Vegas, Phoenix to Vegas. There was no one set location. So it was very hard for us to pinpoint her, to find her, because they don't have a residence. They move from place to place to place to place to place. Mentally, it broke her. Even though she knew all along this was wrong and she didn't want to do this, that was the breaking point. By the grace of God, she got out of the residence where she was. She flagged down a police officer. And if I see something strange, no. Get up, no. Who's this? Stop talking to my child. I'm going to report you. And there's times where she has come to me and she said, Mommy, this sounds real strange. This guy is making me feel uncomfortable. I want it. So there's no more privacy in my house.
I moved here a little over a year ago and have been following trafficking for 10 to 15 years and been training. I'm from the Northwest. And so when I moved here, I got a hold of Stacy and just said, hey, this is on my heart to start something for training teens, because if teens are educated, they're going to be so much, they're not going to be susceptible as easily to a predator.
So by seeing what our kids are doing online, paying attention, being in their business, we sometimes have parents who said, oh, I'm not going to invade their privacy, but hey, it's our job as your parent to parent you and not be your friend, so we're going to invade your privacy. I did print up a bunch of these. I have a lot more if anybody's interested. It's called How to Talk to Your Kids About Human Trafficking.
And once that one act happens, they now hold a shaming tool over that victim or that survivor. Hopefully it ends up being a survivor. They have now something to hang over that person's head so that the next act becomes easier, and the next act becomes easier. Pretty soon it's not familial anymore, it's friends of the family, etc. We have to treat them like a victim, like a regular sexual assault victim or a child molestation victim. We treat them like a victim. Bring in our team to include police officers, detectives, prosecutors, victim advocates, and the resources necessary for the long-term care, and treat it wholly, because this is going to be a long journey for the survivor. 88 runaways in the city of Maricopa, and 46 of them are juveniles, run them. Kids don't run away from home if they're happy, do they? They just, so you're looking for kids that are unhappy in their family. We've had instances here in Maricopa, and you trace it back to the beginning, and they were unhappy, felt unwanted, felt unloved, and felt alone in their life with no one else to reach out to. So what do bored kids that are lonely, that have no one else to reach out to, what do? They go to that computer and they try to find someone who will talk to them.